Welcome back to Chit Chat with Chels.
Episode 3?
Episode 4.
Is it?
Yeah.
Damn, I edit these things. I don't know where I'm at.
Episode 4.
I should have said this right before we started, but I need to, not play with the mic down here.
Yeah.
Because it makes a bunch of noise. Sorry for that, listeners. But, yeah, I notice if I do it, from the side or back over here, it doesn't make any noise. We're learning this.
Yeah, I grabbed
shit
mine
together.
from, right here.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'm
Unless
always,
I need to, adjust. I don't think you can hear that.
All right. Well, that was fun. Sorry. How are we doing, guys? I've missed you. You've missed me, hopefully. Or I guess,
me.
Yeah, she's the host. Never mind.
You're the co-host.
I don't know where I'm at.
You won't always be here. That would have been one of the animals.
The animals are crazy when the cat is going nuts for some reason.
I don't know.
Spike is trying to figure out how to open this curtain with his little nose. Not so little nose. Anyway, Chels, how's it going, baby?
It's going pretty good. Got back from dinner with a friend not too long ago, so got some girl time.
Very good.
Yes. So the episode is gonna be just wow.
Just wow.
Just wow.
Okay.
How's you have no words.
This should be pretty easy to edit then.
I mean, you need to have words, but kind of when you initially read it or initially hear it, it's just not you're like, what did I just read?
Jaw-dropping drama.
Exactly.
I thought, when I thought about saying that small little sentence right there, I just felt myself tripping over the words. I did not. I'm happy with myself. That was wild. It was a weird feeling. I've never had this before. I probably had this before. Let's be honest here.
So have you ever read anything or heard any kind of stories that you're like, how is that real?
I've done things that make me feel just wow, or I don't know if I said that right, but yeah, I've done things that have called for this reaction, guaranteed.
Well, then I guess we'll find out if any of them are as surprising as the ones we're about to read today.
Hopefully none of them are about me.
I don't think so.
That's
I don't
for me
think
to
so.
know. And you to never find
me
out.
to never find out. Okay.
Are we jumping right in?
I think so, unless you have something else you want to do. Want to tell a story? A just wow story?
Just wow story? Oh, boy. This is something for my podcast, probably. My just wow story. All right, if I tell one, you got to tell one.
God, I don't know if I have one.
Well, I'm going to have to probably sit here. I'm going to probably sit here and ponder it myself for a miniature second. I have something that's in my head right now, but it just sounds so unbelievable. I don't know. Even when I've told this, you've heard me tell this before. But even people that have known me forever, if I told them this, they're like, it seems fake.
Okay.
But so when I was still on the pills and all the shit, I went to this dude's house that I hung out with at the time, and we were drinking. And I mean, pretty much just straight vodka, and I'm on pills too. He had a tooth that was bothering him.
Oh, this one.
And I jokingly was like, got some pliers? I'll pull it out. I still say that sentence to people this day. I'll pull it out, I always got needle nose or whatever on me. Let's go. Well, this dude was like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, let's do it.
Oh, goodness.
So he's swishing his vodka around in his mouth. I mean, he just took a drink straight out of the bottle and just to like, I guess, sterilize his mouth. We didn't sterilize the
I
pliers.
was just about to ask that.
No, they not sterilized. And it was like straight up just like regular pliers, not needle nose or nothing.
Oh my gosh.
It was also his second molar, I think. So it's like in there on the bottom.
Mm-mm.
And he's like, I'm gonna punch you. He's like, as soon as you yank on that tooth, I'm gonna punch you, just so you know. He's like, it's gonna be my way of like, you know, dealing with the pain. I'm like, whatever, man. I was like, if you're really gonna let me do this, let's go. So I put him in like a headlock just to hold his head still because I knew he was gonna pull back. I don't know what in the fuck we were thinking. I mean, it kind of makes sense for him, but like looking at myself, like, what a dumbass thing to do. But yeah, so I've got him in a headlock in my left arm, and I reach the pliers in, and like I'm yanking a tooth out. So like I have to get a good grip on the pliers. So I'm holding the pliers, and I'm starting to squeeze, and he's already hitting me. I'm like, dude, like you can't hit me right now. Like I understand, like when I do the yank, like that's fine. So he's like, hold on. So he takes another huge swig out of his bottle, swishes some more around. He's like already bleeding because I've like hit his gum and shit. So he spits out a mouthful of bloody vodka and then swishes around some more, swallows it. I got him back in the headlock. So I got the grip on there. I'm squeezing the pliers and like I'm trying to wiggle it loose because it wasn't loose. Like it was, I don't know what kind of I don't know if it was just like a real bad cavity he had or what. But I only wiggled it a little bit, and I just tried to yank. So the first time, the pliers slipped off of his tooth. So, like, imagine squeezing pliers, and you're trying to pull something, but the pliers, like, come off, so the pliers, like, slam shut, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So he definitely hit me there. I mean, he's not hitting me in the face or nothing, by the way. He's just, like, punching my leg. So I'm like, hold on, I'll get it. So he's bleeding more, takes another swig. I don't remember if he swishes it or swallows it, spits it, whatever. But I grab a hold of him again. I get the pliers on there. This time I'm deeper, and I like twisted and yanked, and it came out. But it broke off at the gum. So he's like, oh, it feels better. It feels better. As he's like bleeding everywhere out of his mouth. Well, like 2 weeks later, I don't know if he ended up in the hospital or if he ended up in like a dentist's office somewhere. But from what I did, it created an infection. It was starting to poison him. Obviously, you know, like if you have a really bad tooth issue, it can kill you.
So it was like turning to sepsis. Septic? He was turning septic.
Something like that. Yeah, I don't... That whole part's blurry. I just remember yanking the tooth. And like I said, that's such a story that's like... just wow, you know? But it's also a story... It just sounds like bullshit to most people.
It makes my stomach hurt.
It happened. I swear on my life it happened.
Yeah.
But there's my just wow story.
I don't think I have one. I really, really don't.
Well, that's boring.
I'm sorry. I've not lived the most exciting life.
I don't know if you should really categorize the things that I've done as exciting. They may have been exciting to me at the time, but
yeah.
You should not.
Don't aim to do that.
Like I did.
Yeah. Aim to do the boring lifestyle like me. It's fine.
But anyways.
Anyway, would you like to hear other people's just wow stories?
Sure. Do you have these in like a list, or how are you going?
I'm just randomly grabbing them.
You're just randomly grabbing them?
Mm-hmm.
Well, so I know that you've pre-read these, so give me the least of the juicies.
Oh, the least of the juicies?
I don't want to start off like, well, first of all, I just told this fucking ridiculous story. So
okay, so that's going to be,
let's bring it back down to earth a little bit.
This one. Okay.
Right. Give it to me.
Am I the a-hole for telling my insane coworker that she was not victimized by a literal baby?
Victimized by a baby?
By a baby.
All right, without even going into this story, if you think that you've been victimized by a baby, please go figure your fucking life out. But anyway, please go on.
I, 28 female, work with another woman, 33 female, who is extremely pregnant at the moment. She is on maternity leave and is taking time off right now, but she is very dedicated to keeping our entire office keyed into every little detail of her pregnancy. She spams her ultrasounds and updates and baby bump pictures to the office group chat constantly. She also has already had the baby shower and is still requesting more stuff for the baby from us. She treats the baby like it's a child, playing Mozart and playing a math podcast too, so it will come out with a higher IQ. That's why I wasn't surprised when she showed up to the office for Bring Your Kids to Work Day to make it about her pregnancy. Even though her kid has yet to be born, she started showing all the children her pregnant belly and telling them about it. My other coworker brought her baby too, who is a boy and a 1.5 years old. My pregnant coworker approached him and told him there's a baby inside her, pointing at her stomach. She is wearing a dress. The boy misunderstood, since he's literally a baby, and tried to look up her dress to see it. My coworker was shocked and screamed at him and startled him, causing him to start crying and shrieking and to run to his mom. The mom was furious and started yelling at my pregnant coworker that she's a lunatic and saying, why is she even here since her kid isn't even born yet? My pregnant coworker started screaming back that this is how predators start and that she's the victim and the baby needs to be controlled. She turned to me for backup and I told her she's insane, thinking she's been victimized by a literal baby. She yelled at me that it's no excuse and I'm enabling. Both my coworkers were asked to leave by security. I'm pretty sure her reaction to a baby looking up her dress to find the baby was insane, but maybe I'm losing it. Am I the asshole?
Absolutely fucking not. First of all, that is not how was that put? That's how predators start?
Mm-hmm.
No, not as how old? It's a baby, like
a 1.5 years old.
Okay, yeah, that 1.5 year old does not know what is up that skirt. He thinks that there is another child under that skirt. That's what he's trying to find. He's not looking for
her hoo-ha.
Yeah, thank you. I was going to try and say something funny, but it was going to come out ridiculous. Thank you. Yeah, what?
Yeah, that baby's a 1.5 years old. If you told a child, especially that young, that you have a baby in your belly, they're going to try to find it. They don't understand it's actually inside of you. Like, you're not victimized. This child is not a predator. And again, like she said, like the coworker said, why are you there? It's Bring Your Child to Work Day.
Right, I agree with that. That's like, I guess I could kind of see it, but with all the other things that's going on, like, first of all, if you're pregnant, you kind of already are bringing your child to work.
She was on maternity leave. She literally came in just to bring her child, who is in her belly, to work.
Okay. I don't know why I thought this was before the maternity leave, and now
she is very, very pregnant. Like, she is about to pop. Which, okay, you're about to have this baby, but you have not had this baby. Maybe bring your child to the next Bring Your Child to Work Day. Yeah, this was 3 years ago. They were deemed not the asshole.
No shit.
Top comment, not the asshole. He's literally a baby and doesn't understand pregnancy. It was in no way sexual. Her saying it was sexually deviant is in itself deviant.
I agree with that 100%. That's a perfect comment.
Yeah. And then another response, yeah, baby see boobs as food.
Literally.
Like, they're not looking at that as, no, not the asshole. And wow.
There are some wild ass people out there.
Yes. Thank goodness I have not run into someone like this. Are you ready for a big juicy one, or do you want to go, the easier route?
You pick.
Oh,
I picked the last one.
goodness. Okay.
How many do you have?
I have quite a few.
Okay. Are we still trying to keep it like an hour?
Or more. It's whatever.
Okay. Well, let's see what you got.
My 22 female fiance, 25 male, wants his father to check my hymen tomorrow night before I get married.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Indeed. Just wow.
Okay. This was 5 years ago. You signed up for this.
Good Lord.
I found them and I couldn't help it. My fiance proposed to me about 8 months ago. We decided on having a relatively small wedding, which is in 2 days. Everything was going great. He seems absolutely perfect and we are very much in love. I am a virgin and so is he. He wanted to save it for marriage and I wasn't fussed, so I agreed to saving it. He has told me earlier that his family, the father, checks the virginity of the bride the night before the wedding. I laugh this off as it seriously sounds like a massive joke. Turns out he was dead serious. He wants me, the night before, to open my legs up in a small ceremony type thing so his dad can check me while him, his brothers, and uncle can watch so that they know I'm still pure. I told him fat chance I'm going to do that, and he was begging to me to go through with it and how important it is for him. He said he knew it was slightly embarrassing for me, but his mom did it, and it will prove how much I love him and that I have nothing to hide. Anyway, as I'm still a virgin. I left and he was crying. It was very dramatic. I want to call off the whole wedding because of this and never talk to him again. But at the same time, it's only one thing, and other than that, we are genuinely perfect for each other, and I don't want to spend my life with anyone else, and it is very important to him and his family. What the frick do I do? I am currently at my friend's house, and I might stay here for the night. Tomorrow would be our last day as an unmarried couple, and I'm straight up panicking. See? Speechless.
What is slightly embarrassing?
Slightly, yeah. Especially for, I'm sorry, but a virgin to open her legs in front of her fiance, his father, his father's brother, and
Kitty.
his own brothers, for them to make sure she's still pure.
I'm sorry, but wouldn't this is gonna come off very brash?
Mm-hmm.
But wouldn't it be impure to have a bunch of guys looking at her pussy?
That's what I think.
Kitty, are you gonna just always stand right in front of the cameras?
There is a comment.
She sat down.
There is a comment. You may not have an intact hymen. Most females don't. This proves nothing. Plus, it's disgusting to even think about your soon-to-be in-laws looking at your twat. And the thing is that's true, because your hymen can be broken from doing all kinds of things. Riding a horse, falling. Like, let's say you fall on your bicycle and you fall on that middle post. That can break your hymen. There are plenty of women who, when they have sex for the first time, they don't bleed. And people are like, oh my God, you're not a virgin. No, they're a virgin, but their hymen's not intact. It happens. So for you to think that you can just check it, like, no. No.
It's disgusting. That is not.
And this was posted on relationship advice. So what advice would you give her?
Um, I don't know.
Run.
That's so weird.
Run.
Like, yeah. I mean, what else? What else do you say? Okay, you love this guy. Do you love him enough to show yourself to his whole family?
Well, we have an update.
Holy shit! All right.
We have an update. So we will find out. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
First of all, thank you so much for all of the replies. I didn't think this would get so big. I've read pretty much all of them. Special shout out goes to the person who says this was fake solely on the fact that I write like a man, whatever that means. Also, thanks for all the gold and silver. It's appreciated, although if you want to spend money, give it to charity or something. I went and talked to him this morning. I told him that his father is not going to look at me and he needs to respect that. He was adamant that it needs to happen and accused me of lying about my virginity. I was trying to be calm and rational, but he was not having it and just became more and more angry. I told him if he really loved me that he would stand by me on this and tell his father no, to which he slapped me and said he didn't need to prove anything. So I ended it and left him. I'm currently back at my friend's house being miserable and eating pizza, which is pretty fun. So yep, thanks everyone.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So he got so upset that she refused that he slapped her.
What an unnecessary.
It escalated so quickly.
Literally from the start.
Yeah.
Why? Why is that so fucking necessary? Okay, if you want to save yourself for marriage, more power to you.
Mm-hmm.
However, if you are going to save yourself, then let that moment of you revealing yourself to someone, like, you know, when you like the first time that you and I had sex.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to.
You're nervous.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're revealing something about yourself that you've never revealed to that person. And it being your first time, you've never revealed that to anybody. Like, looking
Right.
back at losing my virginity, if I had some guy being like, oh yeah, my dad's got to check you, I'd run as fast as I could.
Well, in on the same hand too, if I was, you know, like when I lost my virginity, if I had to go show my dick to all of her sisters and her mom and her dad or whoever, like, no.
It's awkward. Top comment for the update is, wow, just as controlling as we expected. To accuse you of lying and slap you is real fucking bold on his part. Good work getting rid of him. You'll be better off. Glad you have a good friend on your side.
Did it say age on this?
Yes. She is 22. He is 25. So college age.
Jeez.
Yeah. I'm
I mean,
glad she got out.
It's hard for me to think about a 25-year-old male that's a virgin. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with it. It just, like, I lost my virginity when I was 14 or whatever. So
Well, and we also don't know what country this is in.
this is also true. Also true.
Religion can play a factor, which she did say that it was his religion, which is why he chose to stay a virgin. She just didn't care.
Okay. So regardless of any of that, I know how men are. I know what I don't think that religion or country or how you were brought up changes the primal urge.
No.
And I also kind of hate saying primal urge in that aspect because it sounds like kind of rapey, but that's not what I'm talking about. It's just you do have an urge.
Yeah.
I think everyone probably has that, you know.
You have hormones running through your body.
Right.
You have urges and feelings, and some people, you know, go through with it and some people don't.
Right. And
or don't have the opportunity.
It sounds to me like this dude needed to rub one off like a few times a fucking row in a row because that is absolutely not.
That's horrendous.
It is horrendous. Yeah, that's exactly the word I needed. Thank you.
Yeah.
You can't. Again, I don't give a flying fuck where you're from, what your religion is, any of that. Don't ever hit a woman, especially if you claim to love this woman and you're getting ready to marry her. I cannot imagine any scenario that I would, for one, ever slap you, and two, ever, especially like right before the wedding.
This is the day before.
That's even worse. There's no situation that I can even think of. I don't give a fuck if you cheated on me the day before our wedding. I wouldn't slap you.
No.
Like, what the fuck did that guy think that was going to do? I'm going to smack some sense into this bitch. That's not normally how any of that works.
No, it sounds like he was abusive, but hid it, and it was most likely going to come out after they got married, which happens a lot. And he let it slip.
That is so fucking bizarre.
But thank God.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, she was able to get out. Hopefully, at this point, she's met someone or she's figured out what she wants to do with her life.
That's gross.
Horrible. Just, wow.
Very good. Nice touch.
Thanks.
You're getting good at this.
This next one is posted in r/am I wrong 1 year ago.
Yes, you're wrong.
My girlfriend told all her friends that I drink her piss.
Okay.
You ready?
I suppose.
Okay. It's a very short one.
Alrighty. Thank fuck.
She, 19 female, told them about how at first I, 19 male, only had her pee on my face. Before we moved further and had her piss directly into my mouth, we had talked about this before and agreed not to tell anyone. But then she went on and bragged about it to all of her friends anyway. It's just really embarrassing. But when I confronted her, she said it is her sex life and she has the right to tell her friends. Am I wrong for being upset about her telling them?
No. I'm assuming this is some sort of fucking weird kink. Sorry to fucking...
It's definitely a kink. It's a pee kink.
Okay, well...
Urination kink, whatever you want to...
Alright, fucking weird to me, but...
To each their own.
Yeah. So... I mean... Yeah, definitely different than fucking squirting.
Yeah.
And let's be real. My face has been squirted on before. It happens. That was cool. But, what the fuck?
I don't think that you're in the wrong for being upset. If we had ever tried anything in bed and I told you, don't tell anyone we're trying this, it would embarrass me. And then you went and you told all your friends and then I found out about it, like, I would never want to be around those friends because they would know something so deep,
right,
that I only trusted you with.
Yeah.
Top comment. OP, I'm in agreement with most of the people here and will tell you, kick her to the curb. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Do it with the quickness. I'll also go further in saying that she directly violated a verbal agreement between you two, and when confronted, her excuse was, it's my sex life too. The devil is in the details. She will never keep a secret or bedroom activities or anything else you two agree to not discuss outside the relationship to herself. She felt entitled to tell her friends, whether to shame, which is absolutely fucked up in itself, or whatever else, and she did not care one bit about the agreement, nor how it would affect you as an individual, let alone her boyfriend. The trust has been broken in one of the most severe ways, and going forward, you're going to feel ashamed, which, again, is most fucked up. Two consenting adults, no one getting hurt, enjoy yourself. Of what happened, and the dynamic will be completely shifted towards her and what she did. Do not forgive her, especially when she came back with the weak-ass excuse. Tell her to kick rocks and continue your search for the perfect fit for you. Chin up, OP.
Hell yeah. I absolutely 1000% agree with that. That fucking commenter, dude, that's the shit.
That was like the perfect comment.
Yeah.
Like, that's exactly what I would have said.
How many fucking upvotes does that comment have?
1.2K.
I'm surprised it's not an M, I guess. Yeah, I mean...
I think the only reason it's not is because this actually flew pretty much under the radar. It only has 16,000 upvotes altogether for the entire post, 5.6 thousand comments. So it wasn't like a huge thing. But yeah, no, definitely not in the wrong. I would definitely say find a new girlfriend who understands your kink, and if they're okay with it, you know.
Right. I agree.
Keeps it to themselves.
You gotta find somebody who's... I mean, something like that. Normally kinks are, it's a deep thing that, like, you should keep between you and your partner. I understand that there's people that kiss and tell and that kind of shit, which is acceptable to a point. Like, hey, me and so-and-so fucked last night. We had a hell of a time. We banged on all the furniture, blah, blah, blah. Like,
right.
But, okay, cool. That's a good story. But, like, if I'm getting fucking peed on or whatever, like, okay, I'm not going to tell anybody that because I don't want to feel that shame. Now, for the person who, in, like, her case, that she's doing that to him, do you think that talking shit or bragging about what you've done to this guy makes you a better person? Like, hey, there's a girl that pisses on dudes. Like,
well, and she's obviously okay with it if it's gone from peeing on him to peeing in his mouth. And if she's okay with that, then obviously she finds some kind of satisfaction in it. Even if it's a degrading kink or anything like that. Like, that all works. But she's not only outing him, she's outing herself.
Absolutely.
And that's just not fair to him.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I read that and I was speechless. I didn't even...
I wonder why.
Oh. Next one, also from r/relationship advice. We've had a couple from this one. My 22 male, vegan girlfriend, 21 female, wants me to get rid of my cat.
Why the kitty?
Well, we'll find out.
Tell me.
I can't believe I'm about to type this, but here we go. I've been dating my girlfriend for 7 months. She's amazing, and we're super comfortable in a lot of ways. She's an outspoken vegan, and she has made it clear at the start of our relationship that it was important to her that any potential had similar cruelty-free values. Me, already being a pescatarian, had little difficulty transitioning to a full plant-based diet. My girlfriend was proud of me for going cruelty-free, and everything seemed well. We became the vegan couple on our college campus. Then there is my cat, Mittens. I've had her for 3 years, and I adore her. She's such a sweet and cuddly cat. However, my girlfriend was always a little apprehensive around her, and she blamed it on not growing up around cats. After a while, we sort of made a tacit agreement to mostly hang out at her apartment instead of mine, so Mittens never really came up again in conversation. Fast forward through all of the quarantine stuff, my girlfriend and I have spent a lot of time together during this pandemic, and we've started talking about taking our relationship to the next level. We began seriously looking at either buying a new apartment together or having one of us move in with the other. However, after a lot of talking and planning, my girlfriend sat me down and dropped a bombshell on me. She said, with this next phase of the relationship, she did not see a future with me unless I was willing to give away Mittens. She said that she believed owning a cat is unconscionable for vegans because they hunt mice and eat meat, and because the very act of owning a pet is a violation of vegan principles. I was stunned, and I told her that I was absolutely not willing to give up Mittens, and she had no choice but to eat meat, so I was reducing harm as much as possible by buying reputable brands of cat food. Plenty of vegans own cats and think along those same lines. My girlfriend got mad and said, "How much flesh does your cat eat? How many animals died to make all that food? Why would you be okay with would you be okay with it being human flesh?" I got mad and told my girlfriend that I would have really appreciated her telling me about her cat opinions before we got serious. She went on and on about cats killing animals. I ended the conversation there. I was so angry that I left my girlfriend's apartment, and I snuggled with Mittens when I got home. Although the mood soured a bit when my girlfriend sent me a link to a Reddit thread advocating for the extinction of domestic cats. Sigh. I think it goes without saying that I'm not going to get rid of my cat. However, it pains me to think that an otherwise wonderful relationship could be ending because of a difference in ideology. I don't even really understand where my girlfriend is coming from because, like I said, a lot of vegans own cats. Now, granted, cat ownership can be a controversial topic in vegan circles, and I probably would not have gotten a cat if I had been vegan at the time, but I have Mittens now, and she deserves to eat. Yes, I've researched vegan cat food, but Mittens has some digestive issues, and my vet strongly cautions against it. I've talked to some of my vegan and vegetarian friends, and they all think my girlfriend has lost her mind. Some have suggested that it's not about Mittens, and my girlfriend just wants an excuse to end it. They probably don't understand why I haven't broken up yet, but I care about my girlfriend so much. I'd hate for this bizarre curveball to be the end of a beautiful thing. I want to try and work something out. Where do I even go from here? I will not compromise on Mittens, and I don't think my girlfriend will compromise either. Edit. Wow, this completely blew up while I was asleep. I am trying to read every comment, but there are a lot. Also, please allow me to take this moment to reiterate that my girlfriend's views are not representative of those held by the wider vegan community.
I have an unpopular opinion that I would like to speak, if that is A-okay on your platform here.
What's your unpopular opinion?
That I don't want to say that all vegans or vegetarian people think this way, but the act of, well, it's not really an act, I guess. Okay, so you're eating, like, vegan is like milk free and
Anything that has involved an animal, they will not touch.
okay, but bugs are okay to kill?
It depends on who you're talking to because some vegans don't believe in that either.
Well, when you grow produce,
I've heard this.
you're killing all sorts of fucking animals. Bugs, rabbits that feast on that same vegetable. Look at
Mice.
a cornfield. Have you seen a garden that didn't have any bugs in it?
Never.
Well, if it didn't have any bugs in it, that's because they used a pesticide. What does a pesticide do? That kills shit. Keeps bugs off that delicious green food you want to eat. Now, a cat, all cats, every single fucking one of them in the universe, you ever seen their teeth?
Yeah, they're sharp.
You know what that's for?
Meat.
You know why they got claws? Meat. We feed our cat food. That's perfectly fine for them.
Yeah, but it's meat based.
Well, sure. But for 7 months, you dated someone knowing full well they had a cat. For 3 years, this person had a cat. And after 7 months, you want to say that it's not okay to have a cat?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of that relationship, because that person is not right for you. Animals can be more. not even can be. Animals are more loving than humans.
Oh, 100%. I trust my animals more than I trust any other human.
Those two dogs and that cat are always happy to see me. There's days when I come home from work that we're already at ends with each other because we've both had a shitty day or whatever.
Yeah.
But those dogs, as soon as I pull up to the house, are freaking out, shaking, running around, barking, having a fit. And I walk in the door and they're jumping on me and they're all over me and they're giving me kisses and running me over.
And the cat's howling.
Yeah, that fucking cat. But unconditional love. This person in your relationship is not willing to give you unconditional love because you have an animal that will always love you and will not have the same life when you decide to take it to someone else because of someone's, I'm sorry, but shitty beliefs.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. I don't have anything against vegan people or vegetarian people. You do what you want to do. You eat what you want to eat. I only don't like it when they push that on other people, and I believe that this person is pushing that on OP because of a cat. Yep. And that is unacceptable to me.
I completely agree. Top comment 4 years ago. All of this was from 4 years ago. She suggested to give it away. It makes no sense whatsoever. Will it consume less meat with another owner? Of course not. It's like boasting about your lack of garbage because you dumped it all in your neighbor's yard.
Absolutely.
There's another one. Cats are obligate carnivores and should never be fed a vegan diet, regardless of health status. Here in the UK, doing so would earn you a fine of up to 1,000, whatever kind of money they have. Quid.
I don't know if it's quid.
I'm not sure. It's got a weird thing. 1,000. It's considered kind of
euros, probably. Then I have no fucking idea.
Either way, it's considered animal cruelty in the UK if you feed it a vegan diet.
Makes sense. You gonna go give a tiger a fucking head of lettuce? Didn't think so.
You can also get prison time for animal abuse in the UK, including feeding cats inadequately.
Good job in the UK. I approve. I'm a fucking huge animal lover. So if it's got to do with animals and somebody's trying to get you to get rid of it, fuck that person, dude.
Well, we do have an update.
We got an update?
We have an update.
Give me it. I don't know why I'm so intense.
I'm really are. Sorry. I think it has to do with the cat. It has to do with the cat.
Where's my kitty?
I don't know where she went. Okay.
It's probably honestly better off.
First of all, let me say thank you to everyone who offered advice. There are over 7,000 comments on my original post, and I have dozens of private messages. Frankly, I'm still pretty overwhelmed with the magnitude of responses. I did my best to read most everyone's comment, but obviously I couldn't get to everyone. I would also like to preempt this post by saying, as many users pointed out, that my girlfriend's extreme views on domestic cats are not representative of the vegan/vegetarian community as a whole. I do think that sometimes new vegans can be a little overzealous. In reality, most of us are just doing the best that we can not to hurt animals. I did not expect to generate a big debate in the comments. So, we broke up. Obviously, I would never, ever give up my cat Mittens. Many users said that the situation was about control, not veganism, and looking back, I do see a pattern of control on my girlfriend's part. I was blind to it, I guess. I called my girlfriend, and she said I was not willing to give up Mittens under any circumstances, and given the recent issues we'd had and our incompatible views, I thought that it was best that we part ways. I said she deserved a partner that shared her values. She then asked if we were breaking up. I said yes. There was some anger on her end, but otherwise the situation actually went better than I expected. So yeah, that's really it.
Well, unfortunate. Hopefully you weren't like super duper in love with them, or
I hope not.
I hope for OP's sake that they're okay, because it is tough, and especially I can't even fathom having to like, if you were to tell me, like, even with my snakes, I had snakes when we met.
Yeah.
I had 2 snakes.
That was not, I didn't know about it before I walked into your apartment.
Right. And they're, this dude's girlfriend would fucking hate me, I guess. But, I mean, they're pets. If you're taking care of your pets, if they're healthy, if you're not abusing them, good.
Yeah.
You let them have pets. That is absolutely insane.
No,
But
I think
hope,
he made the right choice.
I agree. I hope that OP is all right, and it didn't hurt them very much, because it is hard to have to deal with something like that. I am sure of it. But again, like I said earlier, that cat has been there
3
for
years.
much longer.
3 years.
And that cat will be there for much longer.
And he's 22. He will find someone who understands. However, we did get a picture of Mittens.
Oh, we got a kitty
We
tax?
got a kitty tax. It looks
Can
like
you
Winnie.
tilt the screen up, please? Oh my god, it looks like Jeff.
It does look like Jeff, don't it?
It does. Oh my god. That's a beautiful cat. Yeah. Fuck that bitch.
And we will make sure that we add the picture of Mittens.
Yes.
So that you guys can all see Mittens. Cutest orange cat
Mittens
ever.
the kittens, dude.
Mittens the kittens.
Man. What a tragedy. Not even a tragedy. A travesty. I believe I'm using that word correctly. If I'm not, shit all over me.
Travesty. Yes. Okay. This next one is what's the word? You need to put a warning up.
Okay. A cautionary tale.
Sexual assault.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Is that the only warning?
I think that's the biggest warning.
Well, I mean, the rest of this podcast has been fairly explicit.
This is, I think, going to be the most explicit that I've ever read so far.
Give it.
This is from r/Am I Wrong from a year ago. Am I wrong for breaking up with my girlfriend after she continues to cross my sexual boundaries?
Ooh.
Yeah. Pretty rough.
So this is from a male's perspective?
Yes.
Okay, that's even juicier.
Yeah, it's from the male's perspective. I've never heard of anything at all like this.
Okay.
I, 24 male, just broke up with my girlfriend of 6.5 months, 23 female, after she continuously crossed boundaries in bed that I wasn't comfortable with. This all started about 2 to 3 months into dating. For the first while, I personally thought the sex was amazing. In the first couple of months, she told me she wished I would do more to her or let her do more to me. I asked her to explain what she meant, and she said she was into CNC and being hit, but also liked to be dominated at times and wanted to try pegging.
Can I stop you for a second?
Yes.
You said CNC?
Yes.
What the fuck is that?
I did look it up.
Poor search history.
Consensual non-consent. So like rape fantasy.
Rape. Okay, yeah, rape play. That's okay.
It's, I mean, to each their own.
Yeah.
But you have to be with someone who's comfortable with that.
Right.
I told her I wasn't really comfortable with any of that, but we could slowly try some things out if she really wanted. Over the next couple of months, we got a bit more kinky with things like me tying her up. However, when it got to the hitting, I started getting uncomfortable again, especially coming from an abusive upbringing.
Oh,
The last
shit.
thing I want is for people to feel how I felt as a child, but that's besides the point. After I told her I was uncomfortable, she belittled me, saying a real man would do whatever it takes to please his woman. After that, we didn't talk for a while until about a week and a half later to 2 weeks. She initiated sexy time, and I thought maybe she was over all this stuff. For the most part, it was normal until the end. She finished me off with a BJ, and I finished in her mouth. She pretended to swallow and then went in for a kiss. I had no problem with this until she spit my whole load back into my mouth, covered my mouth, and forced me to swallow it. I had never felt such a betrayal of trust and disgust in my life. I freaked out on her, and she just laughed, telling me, now I know what it feels like to be a girl. I screamed at her to leave my house, and she did. A couple of nights went by, and she apologized, saying she misses me and just wants to see me again. So she came over after I got off work, cooked supper at my house, and she watched a movie and cuddled. She eventually started to make a move, and I said I didn't feel comfortable with it, as last time she really crossed a boundary. She promised we would do it the way I liked, and we did, which made me happy. She seemed happy afterwards, which made me feel good that she was respecting my boundaries. She decided to stay the night, and all was good until we went to sleep. I was abruptly awoken to her putting a lubed up strap on into my ass and my hands tied to the corner of the bed frame. It only got in a bit before I jumped awake. When I realized what was happening, I started kicking and ended up kicking her in the face, breaking her nose. She screamed at me that I was an abusive piece of shit and that all she wanted was to have fun and an exciting sex life. She left and went to the hospital. I told her we needed some time apart, and after a day told her it wasn't going to work out. I didn't feel comfortable seeing her anymore, as she had betrayed my trust on multiple occasions. She called me a ton of names I won't get into and basically said I wasn't even a real man and that she deserved better. Now she's telling people that I would hit her, and her broken nose was proof of that because I lost control that night, worse than ever have before. Now I have people blowing up my phone, calling me an abusive asshole, and I don't know what to do. Any help?
Jesus. So something like that, I don't know if they'd be able to help, but that's something that I would probably go to a police station and ask to speak with a cop or an investigator or something, and let them know, tell them that whole story, because a lot of people will, if they hear like, oh, this dude hit this chick, you might have people come after you. It's a thing, especially depending on where you live.
Well, and a broken nose is pretty severe.
Right.
I mean, obviously, in this context, she put herself in that situation.
I agree. But that's almost like, honestly, that would be, for me, I guess, if I put myself in those shoes, that would be more of like an extra layer of protection, I guess. But a huge red flag for me is also in the first scenario where she said that a real man would do this, blah, blah, blah. I've had women talk to me like that before, and I brushed it off. I ended up going through one of the hardest times of my life after that, because I didn't think that I was man enough or whatever the fuck it was that I felt. That was shortly after that is the first time I ever wanted to kill myself. Like, was going to attempt it one night.
Well, and it's so hard, too, because he was physically abused as a child.
Right, which makes matters worse tenfold.
Yeah, because now you're trying to bring this back into his life, and I understand if that's what she's into.
Sure.
If that's what she is into, then she needs to find someone who is also into that.
Right.
Bringing that back into his life, you don't know how much he's gone through to try to heal. That's horrible. And then you're literally taking away his right to say yes.
Right.
Spitting his stuff back in his mouth and covering his mouth so he doesn't have a choice but to swallow. Literally tying him up while he's asleep and trying to peg him. What did you think was going to happen?
Well, and also, like, how in the fuck are you going to say that you want to be hit, and then when you get hit, get fucking upset about it?
I didn't think about it like that.
That's, I guess, the only reason I've I thought about it like that is because like, as a teenager or whatever, like, someone was fucking with me and, like, look, like, if you keep doing that, I'm going to hit you. And then they did it again and I fucking hit them and then now they're fucking all upset. Well, I told you, motherfucker. But if you're asking to be hit, like, this is a legit, well, that's a totally different situation, I guess, but you've asked me to hit you. I didn't want to hit you. But then a situation arose where I did. You're still wanting that kind of thing to happen.
Right.
I understand, like, a broken nose is probably a little bit harder than you wanted to be hit. But if you're into that type of sex life, you should almost know that shit can happen like that. Especially under those circumstances. A guy is, first of all, if you're asleep enough to be tied up, would you be able to tie me up while I'm sleeping?
No. You'd wake up.
Right.
Instantly, as soon as I got out of bed.
Yeah. So, like...
Which we also don't know if he took, has to take meds to go to sleep. Like, that could easily have been a thing, so he could have been really knocked out. It's hard to say. Top comment, she sexually assaulted you and you kicked her in self-defense.
Right, which is, again, that falls right into what I said about going to the police or whoever.
She went too far.
Absolutely.
And
way too fucking far.
Men and women can both be sexually assaulted, and that's exactly what she did to him.
Right.
She took away his right to say yes or to say no, and that's not okay.
There's any updates on that one?
No updates.
That fucking poor dude.
No updates. I'm really, I don't like that.
See, and I just want to say that, like what I was just talking about with, like, I'd been told before that I wasn't man enough, or I guess I don't really exactly remember what went down, but I don't want to say that when this type of thing happens to a woman, like if a guy is being an asshole and is like, oh, you're not good enough type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I know that affects women.
Yes.
In my case, and I know in a bunch of other guys' cases, even guys that I know personally, when a woman says something like that to one of us, some of us, that can affect them so much deeper than just the surface, because we carry that with us for the rest of our lives. I still have moments like that. I'm fucking 32 years old and married, and I still feel like, am I not man enough? Because
you are, if that helps.
I appreciate that. Thank you. But one person is all it took. Over 10 years ago? Sure. We'll say 10 years ago. And it still comes back to me this day. And I know that there's a bunch of other guys out there that probably feel the same. And this guy now, what is his next relationship going to be like? Right. He's going to be scared to open up.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to trust very easily. And unfortunately, the next person he is with is going to have to figure out how to break down those walls,
right,
and get him to trust, because of what this woman did. Mm-hmm. And that's not.
God, that's such an unfortunate thing. Like, that chick's a piece of shit.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm sure the sex was probably good. Them fucking crazy bitches. Them crazy bitches. But, man, there's so much better out there. I hope that guy found himself a fucking trophy wife. Fuck that bitch.
I really hope so. I really do.
She seems like the kind of chick that would end up fucking all twacked out on a bunch of drugs, and I honestly, a part of me fucking hopes that happened to her, because
Or maybe she realizes her wrongs and maybe apologizes to him and doesn't do it to anybody else.
and as you can see, one of us is a rational thinker.
Um, moving along. This was posted 2 months ago. R/am I overreacting? Am I overreacting? My boyfriend hasn't come home since Friday. It's now Sunday. Yeah. My 24 female boyfriend, 27 male, left for a festival around noon on Friday. He told me he loved me and that he'd see me that night because he had to work on Saturday, and then he'd go back to the festival on Sunday morning. I told him to have fun, be safe, and that I'd see him that night. I went to work like normal and didn't hear anything from him all day, which didn't bother me since he is at a festival, probably has had bad service, and didn't want to spoil his fun by being on his phone. I got home after work around 0000 is what it looks like, and still hadn't heard anything. I was hungry and decided to have some food delivered, so I figured I'd call him and ask if he wanted something for when he got home. It went straight to voicemail twice. I decided to check his location to see if maybe he was still stuck in the parking lot and therefore would have horrible service as well, which was the case. Didn't think much more of it, ordered my food, ate, and then went to bed. Decided to check his location once more and saw the bus was just pulling out of the parking area and on the road. When I woke up, he wasn't next to me. I immediately checked my phone but didn't have any missed messages or calls. This started to slightly worry me, so I looked at his location again and it showed him in a hotel somewhere. I figured he must have missed the last train home and that I'd see him soon. I went on about my day, deep cleaning the house, doing some laundry, etc., and didn't think about it anymore. Then around 1600, I received a call from his boss asking if I knew where he was since he didn't show up for his shift at 1500 and they couldn't reach him. I hadn't even noticed the time. I called, FaceTime, texted, and messaged him but got no response. Then around 1700, I got one lousy message that he had hurt his ankle and lost his wallet. I asked what happened, if he was okay, why he didn't come home, why he didn't let me know he was going to a hotel, why he was ignoring his boss and I, when he was coming home, and who he was with. None of our friends went to the festival. He went alone. It's now Sunday, and he still hasn't responded nor come home. He turned his location settings off yesterday around the same time he sent the text to me. I have this really bad feeling like something is off. This is very out of character for him. We've been together for 6 years, and he's never done anything remotely like this. I'm worried, I'm angry, and I feel like he's hiding something. I know he didn't plan on going to a hotel. He didn't bring a change of clothes or packed a bag. He just went for the day, planning to come back that night. Am I overreacting for having this bad feeling like something is very wrong?
Absolutely not. Why would you even feel like you're overreacting? You've been together for 6 years?
6 years, and has never had this issue.
There's got to be an update on this.
There's an update on
Okay,
this.
give me the update.
Okay.
More information, please.
Update. We found him. Dear Redditors, let me start off with thanking each and every one of you for your concerns, kind words, and advice. I didn't expect this to get as big as it did. I'm a longtime lurker on this sub on my main profile, and it's not often I see this kind of response. When I posted yesterday morning, I was beside myself with worry, and I had already taken quite a few steps to find him, which included calling friends and family. Many people told me I was probably overreacting and that he was just having fun. Bingo, why she thought she was overreacting. But it didn't sit right with me, so when coming to Reddit, I was just hoping for a few people telling me I hadn't lost my mind. When calling the hotel, they initially informed me that they couldn't give me any information about guests due to the privacy law in my country. The police weren't of any help either, telling me that I should contact them again if he hadn't come home by Tuesday morning. I spoke to the management of the festival, who could confirm he scanned his ticket at the entrance on Friday. However, they work with wristbands, so there was no way for them to check if my boyfriend also came on Saturday and Sunday. With the hotel, the festival, and the police being quite dismissive, I turned to Reddit. I didn't include all these details in my original post since I didn't want to post to get too long and figured I could just add information by responding to all of you. That worked fine until we got to 100 plus reaction and then 1,000 plus reactions and even 5,000 plus reactions, which is absolutely crazy to me. Honestly, I can't thank you enough. Your responses really helped me through this and confirmed the chance of something bad having happened was way bigger than him just having fun. After calling the hotel again and pleading with the manager of the hotel for quite a while, they were able to inform me that there hadn't been reservations under his name. I sent his picture to the hotel and they looked at the security footage around the time his phone showed up there. Though they couldn't inform us of the results, they did promise to keep the footage on file in case the police would need it further on. I contacted the police again with this information, and while they were still hesitant to investigate further, they did give the hotel a call to request the footage of the Friday night. A little while later, they called me back saying that my boyfriend hadn't been on any of the cameras all weekend, therefore they could rule out he had been there at all. Because his phone clearly showed his location being there and I had screenshots to prove it, the police realized that something indeed wasn't right and promised me they'd look into it straight away. Me and one of our mutual friends decided to start driving towards the festival site, which was about a 4-hour drive. We knew we wouldn't be able to get in since we didn't have tickets, and even if we did, there'd be no way to find him in a crowd of over 65,000 people. But at least we'd be close if we received any news and we could ask around to see if anyone recognized his picture. Before we reached the site, I received another call from the police. My boyfriend had been in the hospital since Saturday morning. He had been found in the ditches of the parking lot of the festival around 3 a.m., together with a few other people who had also been to the festival, all of them severely beaten up and without any of their belongings. The hospital found traces of the same drug in each of their systems, which led to the police suspect that they had been preyed upon and drugged by groups of people searching for easy targets, people who were alone. Apparently, it usually takes 1 to 2 days to identify an unconscious person without any form of ID on them, which is why I didn't hear anything earlier. The police are investigating further and will let us know what they find if they find who's responsible. We already confirmed that we want to press charges. My boyfriend is okay now, and he's expected to make a smooth recovery. He broke his collarbone and his wrist, is covered in bruises and cuts, and has a light concussion. He came to very late Saturday night. Unfortunately, or luckily, he doesn't have any memories of the incident or the event that happened right before. I'm feeling so relieved and happy that we found him and he's safe, yet so incredibly angry at the people who did this to him and the others that had been found. You always hear horror stories about things like this, but you never expect it to happen to you. I'm sorry I didn't update any earlier, but as you might be able to imagine, it wasn't the first thing on my mind these last 24 hours. I'll try to answer a few more questions today, should any of you still have some, and then I'll leave this here. Dear Redditors, thank you again for everything from the bottom of my heart.
That's terrifying.
That is terrifying.
That shit's heavy on my mind all the time. I'm one of those people who finds the worst possible outcomes that like never happen. And I always think about them. I mean, it literally keeps me up at night, every night. We've had this conversation.
Yeah.
That kind of shit worries me about you a lot. Which, I mean, you don't really go to shit like that.
No.
But, like, you know, you wanted to go to this flea market thing.
Yeah.
That's something I worry about.
Yeah, but luckily, you know, I don't know. I feel like with the flea market thing, like, it's in an enclosed area that gets locked at night. I can camp in my car, which can also be locked.
Yeah.
I can take a weapon in case it's needed. Like, I have stuff like that. But at the same time, I mean, this man, he went all by himself.
True.
There's a lot of people thinking that it's fake in the comments just because they don't think it's realistic that he would have left to go just for a day to come back to work than to go again. I do think that's realistic if you have a job that you can't get another day off.
Right.
Why?
If you got the money to do it.
Yeah, if you could go 2 days.
Why the hell not?
Yeah. They're saying it's suspicious that the cops didn't say anything about the unconscious people found at the hospital. Maybe they didn't put 2 and 2 together. Maybe it's in a different county. Right. It could be a whole slew of things. I'm glad she found her boyfriend. And I'm glad that she realized she was not overreacting.
I agree.
Because how much longer would it have taken for them to figure out who he was?
Yeah, it really is a terrifying situation. I'm glad everything's okay. That's
It's
That doesn't
horrible.
help me with thinking about shit, probably. But
Probably not. I, good thing about it though is like I don't go to events like that by myself. I always
right,
take somebody with me. I always make sure I buy an extra ticket for somebody because I'm not.
yeah,
But
and
also like don't
I approve.
drink anything that people give you. Don't, if it's open, avoid anything like that at all costs. Watch your surroundings. If you're there by yourself, don't try not to get too drunk. Um, Not that I'm victim shaming by any means. However, definitely be cautious.
I agree.
Do you need to take a break?
I do need to take a break if we could.
Yep.
And we're back.
Sorry for the interruption, which you guys won't see that, but
Very true.
we only have a couple more stories left. This next one is from our Am I Overreacting? My husband won't let me take more than 2 showers a week. I told him I need him to stop or I'm moving out for a while.
What? Okay.
This is the weirdest thing my husband has ever done. He really is a sweet and loving husband, and I love him more than anything. Divorce is not an option, just to put that out there before the comments come in. My husband has always been a little out there. He is a computer programmer and super smart, but also believes all sorts of things, both real and conspiracy. Lately, he has been very worried about the environment and global warming. About 2 months ago, he got real worried about water. Yes, water. He is concerned about the quality of the water. He put in a new filter system in our home, which I actually love because it tastes so much better. But he is also concerned about how much water we use, not because of money, but the environment. He created a new rule that we can only take 2 showers a week. Now, I'm someone that takes a shower every day before bed. I just don't like feeling dirty in bed. This has created the most conflict in our marriage in 20 years. He is obsessed with the amount of water we use. At first, I just ignored his rule, but he would shut off the hot water while I was in the shower. I started trying to use the shower at the gym, but it's too much work to go every night with having kids. I honestly thought he would get over this within a month, but he is stuck on this still to this day. Last night, I really wanted a shower, but I had hit my quota, as he says. I said I'm showering and that he better not do anything, but about 2 minutes in, the hot water turned off. I grabbed my towel and went downstairs and started yelling, telling him this is the dumbest thing he has ever done. I also told him I'm moving to my parents if he doesn't stop this. Guys, I love this man. He is everything to me, but I can't take this anymore. Am I going too far and threatening to move out?
That is a ridiculous thing. I think I don't know. It's kind of a hard one because, like, where do your parents live? Can't you just run over there and shower?
Yeah, but I think that's ridiculous to have to.
I mean, I agree. I 100%
Like,
agree.
she's a grown woman. If she wants to shower every night, she should be able to shower every night.
Yeah, it's true.
Her 10-minute showers, 15-minute showers, a few more times a week, it's not going to save the planet.
Right.
Like, I understand we all need to do our part and things like that. But if she wants to feel clean, let her feel clean.
Yeah, that's a weird.
Top comment, how about the kids? Can they shower daily? No, but it's 2 boys, 12 and 14. They wouldn't shower at all if I didn't force them to.
That's fair. Yeah, that's awkward at best. And I mean, what's she do for work? Hopefully it's nothing that, like, she's sweating all the time.
Hopefully not. And I mean, this was posted 6 months ago. There's no updates, and I can't look and see if there's been any other like posts or anything because the account has been deleted.
Perfect.
Yeah. So
I mean, I guess I just hope that dude got over that because, like you said, like one person, you're probably the only person in the modern world that is not wanting to shower more than twice a week.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way that I could get away with 2 showers a week, especially in my job.
No. Mine is not. I could if I needed to, because I work in an office. I'm not
Right.
outside. I'm not sweating. I'm not.
Good lord.
The kitty has entered.
Right.
Another comment, this is insanely controlling, and I hate when people do things like this. The amount of water used in a household is incomparable to the amount used by corporations that are actually damaging the environment. OP responded, that's a good point. I should do some research on that and show him.
I agree. Yeah, that is. Look at. Let's see. I'm trying to think of one that would use a lot of water.
Even just any big corporations, because just from flushing toilets and washing your hands, the amount of employees that they have
Right, yeah.
is an insane amount of water. That's not counting, the cleaning people when they need to run mop water. That's not counting, I guarantee that they're probably watering the lawn, doing all of those things. Like, they're using an insane amount of water.
Think about like skyscraper apartment buildings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, like, I understand that he's worried, but maybe try to figure out, if you're that smart, try to figure out how to use less water, but being able to do the same amount of stuff.
Right. If you live in the country, collect rainwater.
Yeah.
Filter it. You can. People. I've seen some intricate rainwater collecting methods that use like multiple filters, and then it's like, so it all just comes down, running off your house, goes through your gutter. In the gutter, there's all sorts of filtration systems. It goes all the way over to this one, ends up in a 55-gallon drum. You got all sorts of water.
And it's amazing. Very, very pure water.
Right.
Yeah.
What? I don't know. That's
Hopefully,
that's an odd one.
Yeah, hopefully it'll knock some sense into him if she actually does go to her mom's for a while.
Yeah.
And to be like, okay, maybe this is a little too much.
Yeah, that's. Excuse me.
It is 1:00 in the morning.
Yeah, I was up at a little before 6 this
I was asleep. I don't
morning.
know. Which is fine. We only have one more story left.
Let's get it.
Why
am I so weird?
That's why I love you.
I say things sometimes. I'm like, who are you? What the fuck? Anyhow.
This is also from our Am I Overreacting? Am I overreacting? My girlfriend won't stop swapping out my real groceries with small versions of the items. Uh-huh.
Please read.
It's basically what the title says, but the weird part is she won't ever admit that it's her. She just sort of looks at me and pretends to be confused when I confront her. Basically, every few weeks, I come home and some of the groceries are missing and replaced by miniature plastic versions of themselves. Come home from work and looking forward to Coca-Cola. Oh great, my Coca-Cola is gone and there's a miniature plastic version. Break something small and need to tape it back together. Oh good, miniature duct tape. Make eggs and want some Tabasco. Oh great, miniature Tabasco. You get the point. Kind of funny, but pretty annoying too. So far, all fair play. Clearly, my girlfriend thinks it's some sort of funny prank or practical joke, but the thing that's weirding me out is that she never acknowledges that it's her. Even when I start to get genuinely upset or frustrated, she insists that it's so strange that random objects are shrinking in our home. This all culminated to last night. Last night I came home and I had been craving something sweet all day, so I started baking blueberry muffins, my genuine favorite treat for myself. I get everything together, preheat the oven, and I'm about to start making the batter when I open the cabinet and oh look, the flour is gone and replaced with a miniature bag of flour. Haha, so funny. I immediately call her and ask her where she's put it, but she keeps playing dumb. I start making a slightly bigger deal about it. I'm like, look, I went to the store to get fresh blueberries. I've been looking forward to this. Can you please tell me where the flour is? She won't drop the act. Like, what the hell? Before we ended the call, she slyly dropped, as if you need more muffins, and hung up. Like, what the hell? I haven't called her back yet, so we haven't talked in over a day. I'm pretty mad at her over this. I went way out of my way to do something special for myself, and she wouldn't drop the act when I made it clear I was genuinely upset. Reddit, I know this sounds insane, but I'm genuinely consider breaking up over this. She clearly doesn't take my needs seriously. Do you guys think I'm overreacting?
Well, so they don't live together?
No.
Um,
Doesn't sound like it anyway.
it seems like there's some sort of mental issue going on. Or, I mean, it depends on how long this has been going on. Because, like, if it's been a few days, okay, she's being a shithead. But, like,
Well, it says every few weeks.
every few weeks?
I come home and some of the groceries are missing and replaced by miniature plastic versions of themselves. However, so top comment, I've seen this prank on TikTok and it's very annoying. Usually they end up giving the real food back though. There is a tiny update on the post. Turns out it was my brother playing a prank on me he saw on TikTok. My girlfriend apologized for her snide comment about the muffins, but suggested I've been gaining a lot of weight lately and was annoyed that I've been pointing the finger at her. So it was his brother, not his girlfriend.
That is,
I had to get you with that.
That's a little fucky. I mean, hopefully they worked that out and got through that, but what? Well, your brother's a shithead. 100%. Your brother's a shithead.
Well, he's got to know that you're blaming your girlfriend for all of these missing food items. And what is he doing with this food stuff?
Right.
Like, where is he putting it?
He's just got a fucking storage unit across town. He's just got random bottles of Coke in it.
And flour and Tabasco and, like, duct tape. Like, what is happening?
Also, how easy is it to just get miniature versions of things?
Oh, it's super easy.
Like, I've never, like, a miniature
So,
flower.
actually, have you ever seen, like, your nieces have gotten them? They're like the balls where you open them up and then you pull out like surprises and stuff.
Okay, I got you.
So they have mini, like, I can't remember the exact word of what they are, but it's literally like mini candy bars, mini boxes of mac and cheese, mini everything. People collect this stuff. I was never into it. I know people who have been into it, which is cool. Collect what you want to collect. Like, your nieces have gotten it. I know for sure because I've gotten them for them before. But you can collect a lot of them. So he was honestly probably like looking through what he had and was like, ooh, I can replace this, or ooh, I can replace that. Maybe not realizing how like serious it had gotten with him. Like, he was talking about breaking up with his girlfriend over this and she didn't do anything. She didn't make a shitty comment about his weight, but she was really frustrated.
Right, yeah, that's like an emotional response thing. Like, okay, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I would be fucking... I guess I don't know. I'd be like super pissed about it.
I'd be really annoyed,
I'm
especially
sure
because like he thought about those muffins all day.
Yeah.
All day. Someone responded, I'm guessing before the update, and it says, what is happening? Are you dating some kind of mischievous fairy? Woodland sprite? This is weird.
Right.
Yeah.
What in the hell's happening?
6 months ago. So hopefully he figured out how to get over it with his girlfriend. I don't understand.
What a weird story.
It was a weird story. It doesn't look like he really responded to anything on that post at all. However, 6 months ago, he did post something, activities to do for your girlfriend's birthday. So,
That's good.
maybe they're still doing good. Maybe they figured it out because
Replace things in her house with small stuff. That would be a funny little thing.
She
to,
would
start
be
her
like,
birthday.
seriously?
Like just one thing that you like know that she's gonna use that day, like a mini coffee creamer or something. Like, also, by the way, don't fucking do this. Don't go get mini stuff and start fucking with me.
I'm good. I mean, miniature things are so cute.
Okay, yeah, sure, fine, but it's gonna be like one of them days that I come home and I want steak and green beans and Pepsi, and I fucking cook everything up, and I go into the fridge and there's a mini can of Pepsi. You know how fucking annoyed I would be about that.
You would be so angry.
Oh, it's like my favorite thing after a long day. Steak, potatoes, green beans, and Pepsi. Just let me have it. God damn it.
Yeah, it doesn't look like this Redditor has posted anything other than the few from about 6 months ago.
This cat is fixing to be the star of the podcast.
Oh, 100%.
She is like fighting to get on this table.
It's okay, kitty. Say goodbye to our friends on YouTube and Spotify.
You say goodbye?
You say goodbye?
She's going to claw the shit out of me.
I don't know if they can hear her. Oh, she doesn't. Maybe bring the microphone to her, honey.
You don't want to talk now? Every other time, though?
No, but she might knock over your water.
Whoa, hey, this is mine.
Well, what did you think of our Just Wow episode?
That was my lid, Kitty. Just wow.
Just wow, right?
It was there was some wild shit in there.
Yeah.
I liked that one. That was fun.
Good.
Some of the I do have to say that some of the stories from the past episodes I've been like, this is just like going on and on. Like juicy. I
think I found some pretty interesting stories for this one. The first one I read that created this whole episode was the vegan wanting her boyfriend to get rid of the cat.
Yeah, that's
and I
crazy.
was like, you've got to be shitting me.
That is so bizarre.
Like, I couldn't get rid of my babies.
Especially now that she's the star of the show.
I know. I think she's made an appearance on every single one.
One of these cameras at this point should be getting how long those whiskers are.
I don't know. I don't know if she's
She might be in your camera. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I'm sure it's been in a frame, so
I don't know. She's very intently staring at me though, and it's kind of creeping me out a little bit.
Story time about this cat. So when Chelsea and I first got together, she brought Winnie over to my house, and she wasn't used to being like played with roughly, and that's like
because she has all her claws.
Yeah, that's like my thing is to play with the animals, not like rough, like I'm not throwing them against the fucking wall or anything like that, but I'll like grab their head and give it a little shake or like scrunch their tummies and stuff. And so I would do that to her, and she'd get all wild.
You pissed her off.
I did piss her off apparently this one day. So she's up on my couch, and I'm fucking with her. I'm like wiggling my fingers on the couch, and she's going after him. And eventually she just kind of stopped and stared at me on the top of the couch, and she was up on the back of the couch. So I leaned back and was just staring at her, and she just reached out and popped right in the fucking head. And this was like
a couple days in.
Yeah. It was wild. Chelsea's freaking out like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, what the hell is he going to do? I'm dying of laughter. Like, most hilarious thing a cat's ever done to me. And, like, she didn't use any of her claws.
Nope.
Not a single one. It was just a...
And, I mean, she was only 4 at that time. She's 9 now. So she's kind of chilled a bit.
Kind of. She still gets a hair up her ass sometimes and freaks out.
And I hate when she does it to me because I am not the person. You're the person. Like, I'll put my hand on a petter and all of a sudden I've got 4 paws worth of claws in my hand and she's trying to bite me and I'm like, nope, I am not your dad. Can't do that.
She does that like I'll walk by and she's well, you've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll walk by and she's sleeping and I just pet her and she immediately throws all of her claws and bites me. Like, dude,
She's
I was
just
just
showing
trying
you
to-
how much she loves you.
well, that's all I was trying to do, and I was even being gentle about it. And she's like, "I will fuck you up."
And she really will. And she's a great kitty
She is.
for the most part.
She is getting lighter.
She is, as she's aging. I think part of that is I'm wondering if like the sun isn't bleaching her fur. Like, is that a thing?
I don't know.
Can that happen? Because she lays by the windows and in the sun a lot. So I'm wondering if the sun can like, because it can lighten like your hair, like
True,
a
but
human's hair.
I wonder if because she's how old now?
9,
9, yeah. So I wonder if it's more or less she's just losing the
like the pigment.
yeah.
Yeah, she'll be 10 this summer. Summer of 2025.
That's good, kitty.
Yeah.
She's furry as shit. She looks like she's a big cat, but
She's not.
She's light. She's under.
She was under 5 pounds.
Yeah, and she looks huge.
Yeah. But when you touch her, she's actually a small petite cat, but
Yeah.
she's got a lot of fur. When I went and I found her, I was like, I am not going to get a long-haired cat. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to deal with the fur. I walked in and she was curled up in a ball, passed out, sleeping, and I was like, ooh, pretty kitty. And she started playing with me, and I didn't want to give her to the lady to like get her like paperwork and stuff going. I'm like, no, but she's my cat. And she goes, she's your cat, but I have to take her. And I was like, oh, okay.
How small was she?
Oh, she was a ball. Like,
Just a ball of fur. Were her
Yeah.
whiskers that long?
yeah. She's had really long whiskers her whole life.
Same with like her little eyebrow whiskers.
And she was only 5 months old when I got her.
That's crazy.
She was tiny.
She honestly might have the longest whiskers of any cat I've ever seen.
Yeah, and it's nice until you're trying to sleep and all of a sudden you've got whiskers or a tail
One
in
stabs
your
you in
face.
the eyeball. Whiskers are hard.
Yeah.
Just get stabbed with them. Uh-oh. She sees the little... Well, it didn't help that I was moving it back and forth. I don't know if the camera will catch any of that. A little kitty shenanigans
Get it,
for
kitty,
the end of the
kitty.
podcast.
Get it. Everybody likes kitties. Except for that vegan lady.
Yeah, fuck that vegan lady.
You can't ask someone to get rid of their cat. Oh, get a kitty.
Oh, she thought about it.
This cat, she also likes balls of paper. So when
I
she
forgot about that.
when she was a kitten, if you would take just the smallest ball of paper, it could be small, it could be big, and crumple it up and throw it. She would literally go and she would take her paw and she would pick it up. And she'd walk on 3 legs holding her ball of paper. Or she'd pick it up with her mouth and walk around with her ball of paper in her mouth.
I remember at my apartment she would do that. We did that a lot. But she was also jumping in and out of boxes and shit then too.
Again, she was a lot younger.
Yeah.
And she was the only animal in the house.
Yep. That made a huge difference. She
No,
definitely changed once we got the little dude, but I don't know, she still gets a hair up her ass with him. And then even with,
yeah.
I seen her the other day. I don't know if you saw her. I think we were both sitting on the couch, but I think it was actually last night. Spike was sitting next to me while he was standing, and his tail was up like in front of her face, and she's like doing this behind his tail and like getting ready to like, I don't know if she was just sniffing him or getting ready to bite him, but at one point he wagged his tail real hard and like smacked her, and she jumped off the couch. It happens.
No,
I
did
think
not see that.
I do think it's hilarious, like when she's sitting perched up on the arm of the couch, and he runs by and she just gives him a little smack.
Yeah, and
Like,
he doesn't even feel it, but to
No.
her it's like a big old accomplishment because she got him.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys can't tell, we love our animals
We do.
a lot.
They're our kids.
Yes, we are fur parents, and so you will hear about the animals.
oh,
There it
geez.
goes, right off the table. But we hope you enjoyed today's episode with me and Jesse on Chit Chat with Chels.
Yeah.
And hope you come and see us again next week.
Please do.
Have a good night.
See ya.